Hello, it's Denise, Midgery Mama, and today I would like to do a July overview wrap up. And it's kind of disorienting because I moved my desk and and everything looks a little bit different, but I like it. All right, so I'm gonna just get started because I have a few things to get through. I didn't read that many books in July, but I feel like I worked with quite a few decks, even though I had one in particular that I was working with most every day. One deck that I surprised myself by using actually was the Indigo Angel Oracle cards by Doreen and Charles Virtue. I have given away a lot of my Doreen Virtue decks, but this one, I just love the artwork. The artwork is everything in this deck to me, and I will just look at it, and I love it. And the messages are actually really good, so I don't mind using it if it works. So these are the backs. And then here we go. It's really shiny. So yeah, they're a little shiny, but I really like them. And I used this deck for a reading, I believe, for the last full moon. And it just ended up being such a great reading. And I pulled this card, Mother Mary. And I usually work more with like Mary Magdalene type energy than I would like a Mother Mary energy. But this card just really spoke to me. And I ended up setting this up by I have like a little sacred space area by my bed, and I just set that up there, and I've been kind of meditating with it, if I think about it, every day. So interesting. So anyway, I really, really like the artwork on these cards. I'm trying to remember. It's one of those Hay House decks where Carol Hayer is the artist. I just wish that would be like front and center on the box. Let's see. No, just tiny print. Anyway, Carol Hayer, and her artwork is gorgeous. So I really liked working with this deck, but I used it just for one reading, but I've been using it kind of as a meditation focus for many days throughout July, so I just thought I would include it here. I just was very surprised at how much I liked this deck, so there you go. All right. This deck, the Akashic Tarot, has been popping up in like every one of my monthly wrap-ups for a while. The Akashic Tarot by Sharon Ann Klinger and Sandra Ann Taylor. I really like both of those ladies. I really like this deck. I didn't like the colors. They were this kind of on the back, this green and gold, and they had these huge borders around them that I cut off. And I'm not usually one that, I don't really worry about borders, and the things like that don't always bother me, but for this deck, because they were that like gold, and and every suit had its own color, and so it was like red and gold and green, and it just I don't know, I just was like, I'm gonna cut them all off. So I did. So I just have tiny little cards now, and I really like it. And this deck, I tried to retire it for a while. I've been using it a lot. And I just got it back out, and I kept using it, and this deck I've just been using every single month, all the time. The artwork is pretty on a lot of them, but it's not my generally like the style that I'm drawn to, because it's very like digital collaged style. But yeah, I don't know. I just can't seem to get rid of this little deck. So now I still keep it in the box, but it just kind of sits at the bottom of the box. because it's like half size. But yeah, I really like that deck. I've been going through and working with each card, and what I've decided to do, I saw somebody, I don't know where I read this, and they were creating their own oracle deck, and they would like, it was just like, it just had pictures, and they were creating their own meanings for each of the cards. And I thought, well, I could do that with this deck, but I do like the meanings in the book. So I'm incorporating those meanings, but kind of trying to journal my own meanings, which I like to do with a lot of my decks anyway, but it's a fun process. I've enjoyed working with that deck. And because it's pretty readily available, I didn't feel bad about cutting into it. So I felt like if I messed it up, I could just get another deck. So another one that I've been working with a lot is the Legend, the Arthurian Tarot. This is the book, A Keeper of Words, and this is by Anna Marie Ferguson. And I just adore this deck. I actually had the Arthurian Tarot, and when I was doing my my purge, and I got rid of a ton of decks, and that's one that I found a new home for and passed on, the Arthurian Tarot, because I had Legend, the Arthurian Tarot. But I just ordered another copy of the Arthurian Tarot. I couldn't stay away. But this one, at first, it took me a long time. This is an older deck. It's been around for a while, and I never ordered it because although I love her artwork, it just, some of the ones that have, see, faces, you can kind of see, like, they just seemed really like faded out to me. Some of the lighter colors felt very faded out, and I don't know, it bothered me for a bit, and then I just kind of got over it, I guess, and now I love it, and I work with it all the time. And it's one of those ones, like, I will rotate it out of the decks that I'm using, and it just kind of comes back in pretty regularly. I love the little, it's purple on the back. I mean, it's just wonderful. And I love in the book how every card has the story behind the characters in the cards. So if you draw like Arthur, you get a little Arthur story, or whoever you happen to draw at the time. And that's been really nice because although I'm familiar with some of the fictional work that's been done, like Marion Zimmer Bradley's Mists of Avalon, I'm not familiar with all of the legends of like the Arthurian legends. So it's nice to kind of get some of that information as I'm reading the cards. So that's kind of nice. And okay, the next one is the Chrysalis Tarot by Tony Brooks and Holly Sierra. And this one I've had for a while, and I just, when you have so many decks, that's one of the reasons that I ended up, these are the lovely backs, but one of the reasons that I had actually purged a lot of my decks is because I just felt like I couldn't work with all the lovely decks that I had wanted to work with, that I had so many. But I really feel like I'm okay with having quite a few and just rotating them out. And getting a few here and there. I actually just ordered a few, but it was my birthday, so I'm okay with that. But this was just one of those that I had really wanted to work with, and I had so many other ones I was working with that I never got around to working and spending time with it. And I really, really love this deck. I love the artwork. I like the book. Has really interesting bits and pieces of information. It has a pretty good deal of information on all the cards, and I really like it. And I like how she has a lot, it might be all of them, but right underneath, like the card, it has her kind of thought process, because I believe it's Holly Sierra as the artist. I'm pretty sure. And it talks about her like inspiration and stuff for the imagery in the card, and so I really like that too. I haven't read the whole book by any means. I've just kind of read the cards that I have drawn so far, and I've been working with it this month, so I haven't been working with it for very long. but I've been really enjoying it. And this one actually has been sitting out on my altar so that I can use it during my my me time, my meditation and sacred space time. All right, so I think that is all of the books or decks. Kind of, well, this kind of goes with the deck, but so one of the books that I read, and I didn't read that many in July, was I read The Last Unicorn. I had just gotten the Last Unicorn tarot in, and it is gorgeous, and it is so special that I just hardly, like, I just don't want to touch it because I don't want to get it dirty, but I have been working with it a little bit. But I hadn't read the book, and it's been ages since I've seen the movie. I have like just memories of how the movie works in my head, but I haven't seen it recently. So I want to go back and watch that again. But what I did do is I read the book, and I've been going back through the cards since I've read the book and kind of seen how the characters from the cards fit in with my knowledge of the story now that I'm more familiar with it because of the having just read the book. So I'm a little more familiar with the characters. So yeah. So it's been really interesting, and I can't wait I'm going to go through the deck since I've read the book, and then once I see the movie again, I'm going to go through the deck again because I'm obsessed with it. Oh, okay. Honorable mention, I don't have the deck yet, but on Kickstarter, and it's still, I'm sure everybody knows about this but me. I don't know how I didn't know. When I did my review of the Last Unicorn tarot deck, I said if only I had a dark crystal tarot deck and a labyrinth tarot deck like that, I would be complete, because that's like, I live for that. That's some of my favorite movies of all time growing up. And I was on Kickstarter. I haven't been on Kickstarter in ages because I'm trying not to buy a lot of decks, and I get so excited about the different projects. But I went on Kickstarter because it was close to my birthday, and I was like, I'm looking for a few decks. And lo and behold, there is the unofficial Labyrinth Tarot on Kickstarter. And I found out that the creator, and I want to say Lore Master Azel is the name of the woman that's doing the project, is the unofficial Labyrinth Tarot. And I found out she had also done an unofficial Dark Crystal Tarot. And yeah, and I I had to back that deck because I have to have it. And I have to have the Dark Crystal Tarot as well. And I am beyond excited about that. I don't know the fact that there had been an existing Dark Crystal Tarot deck out there and I didn't know about it, I'm not sure how that happened, but I'm very excited about that. And I don't have them, but it's awesome. And yes, very excited. Okay. So a book that I started last month that I'm still working through is The Mystic Moons of Avalon. And I'm going to try to say this woman's name. I'm sure I'm pronouncing it wrong. Jenna Tellendrew, perhaps. She has written another book about Avalon, and I want to say that it's not here, so oh gosh. So I don't remember the name of her previous book, but she has written another book about Avalon, and I'm pretty sure that she was one of the authors of the Avalonian Oracle. Oh, Avalon Within was her other Avalon book. And I'm pretty sure she also worked on the Avalonian Oracle, which I have, but I have hardly ever worked with because it is a system that seemed a little complicated. And I didn't read the book, and it was one of those, I have to read the book before I use the cards because I want to know the system. And it didn't seem like a straightforward Oracle system. Like, it definitely had its own structure, and I did not read the book, and so I have the deck, and hopefully this book will inspire me to get that one out and actually read the guidebook. All right, so just a couple other things. I've also been working through The Ultimate Guide to Crystal Grids by Judy Hall. I'm getting used to my new setup here, and the lights are like Whoa, so bright. So this is a really interesting book. I've been doing crystal grids for ages. I was doing, crystal grids when I was younger. Like I didn't know crystal grids were a thing, but just, arranging crystals and stuff. And I know a little bit about sacred geometry. Like I wish I knew more. I don't know that much. That's something I'd like to work on, but this is a really interesting book because it has like different layouts with minimal like amounts of crystals and how to do your own. Like this has like, it explains, this is Metatron's cube, so it'll explain what Metatron's cube, the sacred geometry of it is, and then the crystal grid itself, what it's used for, just has a lot of good information in here. So I feel like I'm learning some new things to kind of spruce up my grids, even though I've loved what I've done so far, but I just love learning new stuff. So that's been really fun. And so my current new obsession, because I'm a homeschool mom and homeschool is starting, and so I started working in my planner, and I became kind of obsessed with it. So and I've never used a discount system before, and I love it because I can change the pages around, and that's exactly how my brain works. Like I'll think about something, but I don't want it to be on the end, because I was trying to bullet journal and just adding the pages in and writing the page number in the index. Like that was not, I'm going to try again, but it was just like, I want things in order. Like I want, if that page goes with this other page, like I want them to be together. And I love the disc bound system and how you can take one page out and move it around and all that's great. But what I did is I actually, I added in to my main planner a planner. This one is just for tarot and crystals and that kind of my full moon work. And it's not really my like grimoire, but it's like my temporary one. And then they can all go like in a more permanent book. But this is like my everyday book of shadows, I guess you could say. But it stays in here so that I always have it with me, because what I found was that I would do tarot pulls and I would do my card of the day. And I have two places where I work. One is here where I have like my sacred space and it's very private. And then I have a space where like if like during quiet time or whatever, I can just go have a few minutes, then I will. And I was doing my tarot pulls upstairs, and then I wouldn't have my journal, so then I didn't write it down, and it was just, I wasn't keeping my journal like going, and that was one of my main goals this year, and so I put it in here, and I'm so happy because I have let's see, so I just write like every day, like what my draws were, and that way I can kind of have a monthly overview, and then I have, so then like during the daily part, I don't want to, you don't need to read all my thoughts and whatnot, but basically I have like my card of the day, my crystal of the day, and my reflection on the day, and I just kind of fill that out as I go, and that has given me it. I also have space to write like pages of like journal entries and stuff like that, but I can have just that one little excerpt, like that little paragraph, and I don't feel like I have to write more, but if I have a lot on my mind, I can write another page, and then I can just put it where I want that page, and it's just been really nice. So having that like connected within my main planner has made all the difference this month. So I just thought I'd share, because for me, having it all together in one place is actually keeping me on track with recording it, so I could actually see. I've been seeing a lot of patterns that I had missed when I hadn't been keeping good record of my work. So that, I think, something that I started, but I actually think I started this in August, so this is kind of cheating, but I just started Neil Gaiman's book, American Gods, for my book club that I go to every month, and it is amazing. Like, I haven't wanted to put it down. I started it yesterday. I'm only about 200 pages into it. It's like 750 pages. Book club is on Saturday. But just like, I don't want to do anything else but read this book. This is so far, only 200 pages in, so it could totally change, but so far it is super amazing. And just, well, it's just a really good book. So that is where I am. And that was, I just felt like I did so much in July, but I think it was just a lot. There's just a lot going on, and projects on the house and getting ready for homeschool and stuff. So there was just a lot of that. So, but I do feel like I had a lot more focus. So I'm really excited to see what I get done in August. I love August because it's my birthday month. And so I am a Leo. I'm just kind of, enjoying that Leo energy. So I hope that you are having an excellent beginning to your August and that you had a wonderful July. And I look forward to talking with you again soon. There you go. All right. Bye.